Perhaps there was no team that faced a bigger challenge heading into the offseason than San Francisco. They were coming off their second Super Bowl loss in the Shanahan era, and this may be the last opportunity for this core group of guys to actually win a Super Bowl together. But with their picks, San Francisco got much of the help they needed in their secondary, potentially replaced their right guard, and got Purdy another weapon. After setting a single season passing yards record for San Francisco last year, Purdy should only improve. This is going to be his first real offseason, and things should actually start getting a lot better, especially with the weapons and protection San Francisco is starting to put around him. Maybe most notably is Ricky Peaw, the wide receiver San Francisco selected in the first round of the NFL draft. Many really expected San Francisco would select an offensive lineman or maybe a cornerback, so it was surprising to say the least to see Ricky Peaw selected. But what I believe happened is Kyle Shanahan was sitting there thinking if he could pick up Peaw, he could put out 5 man beaters across the board, and each one has touchdown ability across the board, whether you're looking at Ayuk, Debo, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, or now even Peaw. We were first introduced to Ricky Peaw in Arizona, where he is ranked as a 3-star recruit according to 24/7 Sports. He originally committed to play at Arizona State to stay close to home. During his first 2 years, he really didn't get all that much playing time, but in 2021, he started in 11 games while recording 580 yards and 4 touchdowns on the year. After transferring to Florida State after the end of the 2021 season, expectations were sky high for Peaw, and he didn't disappoint. He immediately became the Gators' go-to guy and led the team with 661 receiving yards and 5 touchdowns in 2022. During the 2023 season, Slick Rick once again outdid his previous season efforts, leading the team with 65 receptions, 965 yards, and 6 total touchdowns on the year. And even though many didn't have Peaw going to San Francisco, you can understand how his crisp route running, in combination with Purdy's timing, will make it nearly impossible to stop this offense. Especially when you consider all the other weapons Purdy has and how he rarely makes a poor decision. But Peaw isn't the only rookie who could have a huge role this year. With their second pick in the NFL draft, San Francisco selected Renardo Green, the cornerback from Florida State. Coming out of high school, he was a 3-star recruit according to 24/7 Sports. And he ultimately did decide to commit to Florida State. From 2019 to 2021, he saw time playing all over the secondary, including as a safety. The real game changer though came when he was permanently moved back to his cornerback position in 2022. He was an honorable All-ACC mention this year, starting in 12 games while recording 58 tackles, 3 for loss, and 5 passes broken up. In a similar way to Peaw, Green saved his best season for his last, where he shut down one of the best wide receivers in this draft in Malik Neighbors, as well as being second-team All-ACC, where he led his team with 13 passes broken up on this year, as well as an interception. And considering we saw Logan Ryan in the Super Bowl, I bet we see Renardo Green starting sooner rather than later. During the first 2 rounds of the NFL draft, San Francisco did a nice job of adding 2 players that can contribute right away on an already stacked roster. But they weren't done yet. They added Dominic Puny from Kansas State in the 3rd round. Puny has tons of experience playing all over the line at Central Missouri and Kansas State during his 6-year collegiate career. Puny really showed off his versatility at Kansas State in 2022, where he started 13 games at left guard before switching over to left tackle in the 2023 season, and this might have been his best year where he didn't surrender a single sack. While he's strong in pass protection, he also should be great for San Francisco in the run game. He's extremely athletic, running his 20-yard shuttle in 4.4 seconds, so don't be surprised if you see him above Burford on the depth chart. Then in the 3rd and 4th round, San Francisco had 3 picks, the first being used on Malik Mustafa. He's probably the best tackling safety across this entire draft class, and plays in a similar way to 49ers current safeties Brown and Hufanga. Last year, Malik was a second-team All-ACC selection where he started in 12 games, had 80 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, an interception, and 2 passes broken up. After the selection of Malik Mustafa, only 5 picks later, we got the running back Isaac Ariendo from Louisville. And while he was a late riser in his career, he offers first round athleticism. He's 6 foot, weighing 221 pounds, and ran his 40-yard dash in 4.33 seconds. If anyone can actually unlock his full potential, my bet would be it's a room that includes Bobby Turner and Christian McCaffrey. With their final pick in the 4th round, San Francisco went back to his speedster in Jacob Cowing. While he is only 5'8", he ran his 40-yard dash in 4.38 seconds and had some of the smoothest routes of this entire draft class. He also was extremely productive. In the last 57 games, he had at least 1 reception in each one of those games. Across his entire collegiate career, he amassed over 4,400 receiving yards and 33 touchdowns, and we've already seen a similar wide receiver in Tank Dell be extremely efficient in Kyle Shanahan's offense. So in a similar way, Jacob Cowing could be successful. After their selection of Cowing, San Francisco didn't pick again until the 6th, and their investment in Purdy continued. They selected Jarrett Kingston, the lineman from USC. Kingston, across his collegiate career, appeared in 49 games, including for Washington State and USC. And while Kingston has played across the offensive line, including tackle and guard, he figures to translate to guard or center at the next level. And in a similar way to Puny, he's extremely athletic as well as being solid in pass protection. And with their final pick in round 7, San Francisco attempted to re-solidify their linebacker depth behind the likes of Fred Warner. They lost Dre Greenlaw in the Super Bowl, so they selected Tatum Bethune from FSU. During his final year, he was 3rd team All-ACC while leading his team with 70 tackles. He also had 5.5 tackles for loss, an interception, and 3 passes defended. While not the fastest, he does show off great instincts and decision making for the position. With their first complete slate of the picks since the Trey Lance trade, I really think San Francisco did a great job with this draft. They not only set themselves up to make a push for the Super Bowl this year, but they also set themselves up for the future. This draft also showed heavy investment into their most important player, Brock Purdy. They not only picked up Pearsall and Cowing, but also 2 offensive linemen that should help the play there. Furthermore, Colt McKivitz is entering his 2nd year full-time starting, so he should be better. Overall, when you're looking at San Francisco's roster, including this rookie class, it does look like they're suited to make another Super Bowl push. And a large reason for that is how Lynch and Shanahan have been able to nail these drafts consistently. I know a lot of people have criticized the pick of Ricky Pearsall, but the fact is, San Francisco was sitting at that selection, realizing that no tackle was an immediate upgrade over Colt McKivitz, and therefore decided to select a player that not only offers versatility on the offense, but the special teams side of the ball. And they also picked up a corner in the 2nd round, as well as a few more offensive linemen. And I know a lot of people are still pretty upset about San Francisco not yet picking an heir apparent to Colt McKivitz, but right now, I think they're pretty well set up to make another Super Bowl push. Colt McKivitz started in every single game last year, and while he wasn't perfect, he did show improvement in his technique, and going into year 2, you should just see that continue to improve. But ultimately, these are just my thoughts about San Francisco's draft class, and I'd like to hear your thoughts down below. It would also mean a ton if you liked and subscribe, and as always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.